Welcome to the Land Institute's Marty Bender Nature Area. I'm Aubrey Streit Krug, and this is the fifth installment in our Perennial Practice video series. I'm about 1 mile north of the Land Institute's main campus, where our nature area offers a public walking trail through prairie and woods and provides a site for community engagement, art projects, and scientific research. This plot is part of a collaborative study about plant diseases and microbial ecology across climate gradients. We're here today to meet the perennial, deeply rooted Silphium integrifolium, rosinweed, a native North American prairie plant and sunflower relative being domesticated into a perennial oilseeds crop. Domestication involves changes to wild plants, like those gained by selecting for increased seed yield or learning how to reduce seed yield loss. Domestication also involves changes to people as they create new mutualistic relationships with plant species. Successful food crops are those that are widely planted, tended, eaten, and valued by human communities. As we saw last week, the current successful grain crops are in our community cupboards and kitchens. One broad goal of my research is to help build the community capacity needed to support a just transition, really a just transformation, to more equitable, diverse, and perennial agricultural systems. In other words, to help people learn to build durable social and ecological relationships. One method for building these caring relationships is civic science. In 2019, the Land Institute launched a small civic science pilot community in which participants grow Silphium. We invited people to join us as collaborators in learning to care for a plant, a crop in process. We hope to build awareness and knowledge to help make it possible for Silphium to become a successful, sustainable crop who could someday care for people by feeding them and holding onto soil and supporting biodiversity. More than 40 people in 18 U.S. states accepted our invitation to join the civic science community. They tend Silphium plants by watering, weeding, and observing them in a variety of growing environments. They share their observations with us and each other. They explain the project to their families, friends, and neighbors. They are gathering scientific information about Silphium, and this summer, when their plants bloom for the first time, we are very interested to see what pollinators, as well as pests and diseases, appear. At the same time, they are sharing social information. This civic science project allows participants and researchers to learn together about Silphium and perennial agriculture and about how individual and community care work shapes all of our motivation and learning. We're especially interested in how to catalyze and maintain motivation for a diverse group of people over multiple seasons, perennially. Domestication is an iterative process that takes time, just like care work. Caring for others, both human and non-human beings and places, is work. Care requires skill and effort that's physical, emotional, and ethical. Care work in terms of childcare, education, and healthcare has to be done over and over again for daily life to continue. But care work is often rendered invisible, taken for granted, and undervalued. I've learned so much about care work from a book of that title by the disability justice visionary, Leah Lakshmi Piepzna Samarasina, and I want to share a quotation from that book. In their words, quote, "I wrote this because I believe we stand at the crossroads between both the gifts and the unexpected inevitable collapses of our work, and we have the opportunity to dream and keep dreaming ways to build emergent, resilient care webs. I believe that our work in creating the new world depends on it, because all of us will become disabled and sick, because state systems are failing, yet community is not a magic unicorn, a one-stop shop that always helps us do the laundry and be held in need." End quote. To care in community is work, and it's exactly the kind of work that we need to build a better world. So we need to recognize it and reward it. We need to redistribute it more fairly so that it's not just primarily people of color and women who perform care work. And as I believe we are all starting to learn, all of us need to practice care in community ourselves. Today's perennial practice is a simple invitation for you to reflect on your care work in your daily life. Make 2 quick lists. In one column, write down everything you have done or plan to do today that counts as care work. This could be paid or unpaid work, special efforts, or mundane tasks. This could be caring for yourself, your family and friends, other animals and plants and places. This could be physical labor like cleaning up or making meals or gardening, emotional labor like listening and supporting someone, or ethical labor like teaching or advocating. This could be care work done in person or remotely. Then, in the other column, write down all the care work from others that you have received or will receive today. Write down all the care work that you've benefited from or that you need. Again, this could include many things done by many people and beings in many places. The colleague who had a conversation with you, the partner who did the laundry, the activist organizing for policy change that will support you, the plants who fed your body and mind. The point of this practice isn't to create two totally complete lists that are perfectly balanced every single day. The point is to increase our moral imaginations. The point is to start and see the care work necessary for a community, recognize our interdependence, and use that as the basis for seeking justice. For me, caring for other people as we together in community learn to care for perennial plants like Silphium is transformative. I'm learning, giving, and receiving so much. I'm involving my son because I want him to learn how to care too. And most importantly, I want to do everything I can to create a human community in which all children have access to and the ability to care for the crops who sustainably feed them. Finally, I wanted to note that this episode is adapted from a recent article I wrote titled Ecospheric Care Work. If you'd like to read it, you can find a link on the Land Institute's website on our publications page. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next week for one more perennial practice.